What's up, guys? Jack here, and this video is coming out a little bit later than it was supposed to. So what ended up happening was I went to upload the video and I needed some more space on my laptop, so I moved the files over to my hard drive. What I didn't realize was when I moved the files over to my hard drive, the YouTube video failed the upload and I deleted the original location file, and in a panic I made it worse by deleting the original and then stopping the transfer, and then I had no file of the original left. So I completely ruined the upload. It was completely ready to go, but unfortunately that didn't work out the way we wanted to. So let's get into today's video. We have a multi-class race featuring the Oreca 07, the Acura DPI for the prototypes, and the P1R builds for the GT class. This race was 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, with the moving and stuff, we just weren't able to get this out. But if you guys are interested in racing in a multi-class setup private race like this, please join the link in the Discord, where I will be sharing the sign-up sheet for next Friday's race, which starts with an open lobby practice session at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So the rules for this race are you had to use more than one tire compound, and the race was a total of an hour and 30 minutes long. So we did a qualifying session before this, and the reason we chose the Oreca and the Acura is they are very, very close already and very, very easy to balance. So those cars go together. And the reason they are close in performance is they're actually the same car underneath. The Oreca 07 and the Acura ARX 05 are built on the exact same chassis. The Acura just has a surfboard on the front nose and a 3.5-liter V6 twin turbo engine instead of the Gibson engine in the Oreca 07. The GT cars, we were using everything through the Bentley, Corvette, Ferrari, Ford, everything that's in the GT homologation list we are using besides the Lamborghini. So we have a long way to go in this race. I decided to start this race on the medium tires. Everyone else went with the softs. I really didn't do too much practice before this race. The track selection is on a random wheel, so no one knew the tracks until literally the practice lobby opened up at 6:30, which adds a little bit of chaos to it, but I wanted to do it. But I didn't do any long distance runs, so I didn't really think about the tire strategy. What strategy I went as long as I could on my first stint on medium tires, and I used soft the rest of the race. Turk, who ended up winning the race and is first right now, he started the race on soft tires and then did like an 8-lap stint on mediums. So he had 20 less laps on the medium tires than I did. I just didn't think about it, but we learned for the next race that what we need to do for our tire strategy. So we have a good combination. Our goal for each lobby, and we will have multiple lobbies depending on your skill level. So there will always be at least 9, or at a most 9 prototype cars. Sorry, 8 prototype cars. 8 prototype cars and 16 GT cars in each lobby. That's going to be the goal, so that's the maximum. So when we have qualifying, if we have an oversubscription of the numbers, what we're going to be doing is doing a qualifying style. You know, if you're in the top 8 in prototypes, you're going to be in A lobby. If you're 9th through 16th, you're going to be in B lobby. So that's how that is going to work. Now, moving forward in the race, we got a little bit of a yellow flag and we got bunched back up after a small incident. So how this works, we slow down at the start, we regroup, and the leader of the race will then choose when to go coming out of the last corner. He has complete control. He does not need to say anything. It's just when he goes, and you're all reacting on that. There's always a delay with the mic, so you never know if you're actually going to get that audio all the way through. So we're just enjoying this battle at the start, trying to catch up and stay as close as we can to Turk at the moment and try and take as much advantage when he goes to the medium tires and we're going to be on soft. So we're struggling. And one thing I'll add is this race was so long ago that the aero wash was actually still a major factor in driving in this game. So these 3 cars that are battling really close, we're all massively slowing each other down. So I've just got to try and get a little quick escape, get a little ground going up, and we're going to be able to make our way away from these guys as long as they're still battling each other, because they're both on the soft tire compounds. So my biggest worry right here is allowing them to get by me, because I believe I have the overall lap time on them. They just have a faster set of tires. So it's just for me getting away as fast as I can. And so far we're able to hold on to second, but with the aero wash we're getting and the medium tires on, we're gonna struggle to keep the gap to Turk, but we're gonna push as hard as we can. Hopefully we can make a better run through the lapped traffic. So as we make our way forward in the race, I wanted to talk about what kind of other series we are going to be looking at doing. So next week we will have the Whaling Cadillac number 31 DPI. That car is being added to the game on Wednesday. We are going to immediately go in and balance that car. So next week the signups for the GT class will be the Cadillac, the Acura, and the Oreca 07. So those will be your three choices in prototypes. They're all going to be very balanced, very close in lap time, so there's not going to be too much of an advantage in your car choice. I want the car choice to be preference. And what we're going to be doing with the GT cars is we're going to be doing a little bit of an active BOP. So we have a benchmark of where we want the cars to go, and after each race, if one car seems overpowered more than the other, we will make an adjustment. In one of the Sunday night races, we did a race and the Porsche just ended up being the best car. We don't know if it was just for that track, but an adjustment was made for the next race and the car was much more balanced with everything else in the race.
100 feet, turn up 35,000 feet. Oh no, Konica Minolta behind me. Hold on, I know that car's biggest weakness. Let me go find a 31 Whaling livery.
Draft. Which way will it go this time? It goes to the outside, the left-hand side. They're side by side. This is the battle for the championship, and they're on the grass. And off goes the number 10, and that's it. The championship is over.
So I threw in that little reference and joke there. I just thought it was funny and amusing. So humor me. So we're fighting along. We're still on the medium tires. These guys are starting to catch back up. So now he's at my aero wash, and he's going to be slowing me down a little bit, which is going to allow fourth place to close back up. And we're going to have a nice little battle here as we're going to start approaching the GT field. Now, going back to what we were talking about before, the GTP and GTO cars are what we're going to be using for the following week. So next week, we're going to be in the prototypes. The following week, we're going to be in the 1980s Le Mans cars and the 1980s IMSA GTO cars. We're working on a balance of performance with that. If you would like to help, please feel free to join the Discord. Just let me know. And we are always looking for help with builds. And if you are good at making liveries, I highly recommend just coming into the Discord and also sharing some of the liveries that you guys have made. If you guys have any realistic racing liveries that you would like to see some of us use, we're absolutely looking for very similar to real life looking liveries. So if you guys have any of those made, please shoot me a message. I would love to try some of them and showcase some of them on here. As we mess up turn one, we're going to be able to hold the ground and hold off that Wayne Taylor Racing Acura for a little bit longer. But yeah, we got more races coming up in the future. And one that I'm super excited about is in the leaked DLC for the new to Forza cars, which aren't new to Forza because this Oreca was one of them, but it was showed in a trailer a year and a half ago. I'm not annoyed by it. I promise you, I'm not annoyed by it. But we are getting two more American Trans Am cars. We are going to have 4. The Dodge Challenger, which currently has no sound. That car is currently broken. If anyone that works at Turn 10 Studios, anyone who works on Forza can hear this or sees this, please fix the Challenger. There's no sound. But the Challenger is one of them. The Corvette Trans Am, which was just added last week. The Ford Mustang Trans Am car, and a Cadillac CTS-V Trans Am car. I am planning on doing one-off races with those cars 45-minute races on American tracks. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to hop in the Discord again for that, as we're working on getting that series going once the cars are fully into the game and once they fix the Dodge Challenger. So the cars run with about 850 horsepower. They're 5 speeds, but they really have a lot of grip. Like in the Forza GT homologation, the public hoppers, they're okay and they're pretty competitive cars in there. But when you take off those restrictions and run them, they are rapid. They are super, super quick. I highly recommend giving those cars a go and testing them when they're unrestricted. But if you're interested in doing that series as well, please join the Discord and come in and race with us as we carry on this battle. We're now giving this Acura ahead of us some aero wash, so we're going to try and slow him down, try and stay with these guys. So when we do switch onto our soft tires, we're going to have the lap time advantage, and we're still going to be pretty close to them. Unfortunately, Turk's able to drive away, and he's probably going to get far enough ahead to where I'm not going to gain enough time on the soft tires when he runs his mediums, unfortunately. But as we're making our way back through, we see a nice little peek up the inside, but we're going to hold our ground. Try and get a nice clean exit, smooth off the corner. Unfortunately, the car in front has escaped the aero wash, so now it's down to just this battle between us down here. Me for 3rd and 4th. We're trying our best to keep the ground. This was the first race I did in the Orca, and this is something I really want to emphasize. This car is really, really fun to drive. Like, I thoroughly... There's some cars in the game that aren't really fun, like not really fun to drive on the edge. They're difficult to push. This car's just fun. It's weird with a setup. What we found is we run full rear aero on this car and the Acura. Those cars are the same on aero statistics as we make a little bit of contact, but they're really, really fun to drive in this configuration. They've got so much grip, and driving through the GT field is an absolute blast, especially on the soft tires. This thing is just a grip monster. So next Friday, we are doing the race at Suzuka East with 24-player lobbies on the small Suzuka layout with these prototype cars. It is going to be so much fun, and I really hope you guys are interested and want to join us for this next race. If you want, I will have the signups up by Monday as I get too much of the grass, making a little bit of mistake, feeling the pressure on the medium tires. We're just trying to hold our ground as much as we can without losing that much to the cars in front as we slowly make our way closer and closer to lapping the GT field for the first time. And I am getting super, super excited because we did one multi-class race before this with the GT cars and the touring cars around Watkins Glen, and that race was super fun as well. But I am a big IMSA guy. I'm gonna be at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. If you guys are gonna be there, come say hello. I'm gonna get some content, some real life content out there. But any chance I get to replicate an IMSA series is awesome. And the fact that I can do it from my couch while playing Forza Motorsport, that's why I enjoy the game. I don't need a sim setup. I don't need all of this, all of that. I just need a controller and an Xbox, and I can play a sim racing game. I know it's a simcade, but it's enjoyable for me. And right now, I've been dealing with some health issues, and it's been, the medication I'm taking does affect my eyesight a little bit. So Forza having a lot of the accessibility, especially with vision, with the track limits that you're seeing me use more and more, it's really been helpful for me. And I will say props to Forza on that. I will say their base game is impossible to see anything on. I can hop into ACC right now and still see fine without any additional markers. Forza, I don't know, I just really struggle making out anything on the track. So I make a little bit of a mistake here that I wanted to talk about. I drove the car in front of me and I completely ignored that there was a GT car in front. And that was a bad mistake for me to make. I especially should probably apologize to Mr. Major Copy right there. I accidentally bunked him a couple times in this race. I feel bad. but I was too focused on outbraking the car in front of me that I didn't actually pay attention to the GT car that was turning into the corner. And I made contact with him, and that's 100% my fault. And I got to make sure in the future I'm paying attention to all of my surroundings. So hopefully that's a mistake I only make once in this race as we make our way through the GT field for the first time. And I love the chaos of going through the GT field. Brings all the prototypes back in, and it's going to be even more chaos next week on an even shorter track. The lap time difference is about 5 seconds a lap, so every 10 laps you're going to be lapping the GT leader, and that doesn't include the rest of the field. So it's going to be super spread out. It's going to be non-stop action. I can't wait for you guys to do this one. I'm super excited, and I'm looking forward to next week as we continue to make our way through this GT field. We did have some we do get some pretty fast guys out here, and if you're unsure of what kind of lap times you're running, the build for the Oreca and the GT cars are shared. And if you would like to run a couple practice laps and compare them to the times we ran on Kyalami, we were running, actually I will have to leave that in the description or in the Discord. Ask me in the Discord. I will give you some lap times so we know basically what kind of lap times you should be aiming for. Around Suzuka East, we were running 43s, I believe we were running 43.9s towards the end of our little practice session, and the GT cars were running high 48s. So if you're looking for a lap time to aim at for next Friday, that is going to be the goal. The track selection for the following week for the GTP and the GTO cars is going to be voted on in a poll of 5 tracks, whatever 5 tracks and or layouts are selected. It'll be put on a wheel, and we will choose the track 6:30 p.m. when we start the practice lobby. So you will just have to be ready from that moment. And you might have recognized, if you're still watching this video, that was the short from earlier with Farhan. I still can't believe that line. I tried that line a couple times, but this car was, it's either my tuning or the car is just too low. But I'm just going to let you guys watch the rest of the highlights passing these cars through the grid. And again, I've said this at least 60 times, so I'm not going to say it again because you already know what I was going to say. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. And if you guys want to race with us in these events, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll have a new video out Sunday. And I will try to have a little special video out on Christmas night. We'll see. You guys enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys out on the track for the next race on Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to it. Let's have some fun.
Oh my god, I just gotta finish this. I'm not finishing this. I just wiggle away right there. I wasn't intending to pass you, but it just kind of ended up happening. No, green. "28 minutes because there was a pace lap. That's some traffic. I'm running well over half aero just because I wanted to drive a car that was comfortable. I didn't really care about speed. Front and rear. I still got 10 laps of fuel. Yeah, but not 0.3 of a second off of one corner. Oh, I thought you were already past. Sully Sullenberger. I wasn't planning on it, but thank you. Ooh, bounce, bounce. Oh, don't follow me. I feel like prototype and GT drivers that are friends kind of mess with each other all the time when they're out on the track. Like a Jaguar XJR14. Oh, straight lined it. Hello. Telling me Laranji's online. Laranji, you're still in this race. Why does it always tell me you're online when you're in my lobby? My mental math turn was perfect because I have 2 laps of fuel remaining. It's your last lap. Nope, yep, last lap. Then Turk's behind you. Yeah, you keep going. And Turk, just pull off and turn 1 on the exit right-hand side. Please don't crash into each other because I want to take like a... Well, I just want to line everyone up so I can get the order. Now, you're done. No, you're done, you're done. Your race is done, race is done. Once you cross the line, Turk, the race is done. Uh-oh.